you've got the 3 keys which all properties must tick regardless of what property type they are. Having that really good high rental yield, being in a metro market, metro location that actually has that capital growth, of course. The other side of the equation is, buying something that's very good value and something that might be technically an urgent sale, distressed sale, where you can actually get it for 400,000 when other ones are selling for like 460 at the time. So you actually get a bit of equity on the way into it, and you don't just actually have to wait for growth. You've already kind of made growth by buying it so well at that price. The states grow at different cycles. Some states are really good to be buying in right now, others not so much. Perth and Brisbane are my 2 absolute favorites. A house with a granny flat that has it already on a big corner block, 30 minutes to Perth. You could rent this for like 700 plus a week. We've got it for literally 446. Just an incredible return. Some people start off and they have to start off with something literally under 300,000. The properties that we usually buy are usually in the vicinity of as little as sometimes 200,000, all the way up to 700,000-800,000. But the midpoint's usually a good sweet spot between that 300, 350, 400 to kind of get started. Every single state has different terminology, different contracts of sale, different process for buying a property. Some states have cooling off periods, some don't. Australia really just made it more difficult by making all states different. As an example, someone's buying in Brisbane or Perth or whatever it is, and they bought like 2 or 3 properties in Sydney, and they're like, yep, I'm professional, I know what happens. And I'm like, it's actually totally different in Queensland. You kind of have to forget everything you thought you knew and start again. We get access to many properties every single month. 80 to 90% of the properties we pick up are what they call off-market sales. On average, we'll go through properties within the first week. There's no pressure from our side, but that's just basically how many properties we get coming available every week. The ones that are off-market, we usually get them from various sources, such as like a real estate agent as an example, or a bank administrator or a public trustee, where there's always a fundamental like behind the scenes reason of why they're selling off market. So it could be like an urgent sale, distress sale, financial reason, whatever it is. So they've got a time constraint to sell the property within the next 30, 40 days, and that's really pushing them to get it sold quick. The other reason I've found that really works hand in hand with that, and how we're able to secure stuff actually below what other one's going for and at really good value, really good price point, is that 90% of the properties already have like a tenant in there. And even from like a selling perspective, person's trying to sell a property very quickly in the next 30 to 40 days, but they've got a tenant in place for the next 12 months that's on a fixed lease. It basically creates that accessibility issue because they can't sell that property to a owner-occupier, has a tenant already in place for the next 12, 18 months or whatever it is. It makes that property really hard to sell, cuts out all the, a lot of the competition that would normally pay the higher price for it, because then they would be moving into it. Whereas for us, obviously, we're just going for the return on investment.